Hello Keto family, welcome back. Today we're making low carb, keto friendly fish sticks. If this is your first time with us, don't forget hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. Let's get started, guys. Alright lovelies, as a reminder, everything I'm using today is listed down in the description below, and then at the end of the video will be a nutritional information card so you know what to expect with these fish sticks. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's get started. You can use whatever fish you want to for this, but my husband actually doesn't like fish. He doesn't like the fishy taste of it. So we have discovered that he can eat cod because it doesn't have that fishy taste to it. So if you know somebody that doesn't like fish, use cod. It doesn't have that fishy taste and they'll like it, I promise. So I have 1.25 pounds here of cod. I went to my local grocery store here and in their seafood department, I picked out the thickest cod fillets that they had. You don't want them really thin because you don't want super thin fish sticks. You want a nice meaty stick to it. So I got these. They're probably roughly about 1 inch thick, each one of them, and I got 4 equaling 1.25 pounds altogether, and I sliced them up into fish stick shapes. It's up to you how you want to cut them. You can cut them in squares, circles, sticks, whatever you want. I got some that are smaller, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches long because my daughter likes the more bite-sized pieces. Now the other ones are closer to 3 inches long because my husband likes the actual long fish stick. It's up to you how you want to cut them though. It really doesn't matter in the end as long as the people eating them like them. Alright, so that's the fish talk. So in here I have 1 cup of almond flour. It's already been sifted. I sound like a broken record, I know, but always sift your powders and your flours. You don't want no lumps or bumps in there, okay? And into that almond flour, I'm going to add a couple of seasonings. I got 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of Mrs. Dash onion and herb blend. Now we're going to just mix that together real quick. Alright, I'm going to set that aside for now. And in my other bowl here, I have 1 cup of crushed pork rinds. I go to Sam's Club and they actually have a big container of them that's 1 pound. Like $5.95, something like that, and I run them through my food processor and get a nice, pretty good crumb out of it. They taste just like panko breadcrumbs, but even better because they get like a hint of bacon to them. And to that, I'm going to add a couple of seasonings. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, and if you know me by now, you know I love my no salt. It's got great potassium content, so I also add 1/2 teaspoon of no salt to this. Now we're going to stir those together now. This is going to be the crust, the breading mixture, whatever you want to call it. And then I have a cookie sheet that I went ahead and I lined with aluminum foil. I just find it makes for easy cleanup if you line your cookie sheets. And with this I find it's a lot easier if you have a hand for the dry and a hand for the wet. So that being said, when I put these in the breading mixture, I'll put them in the egg, but then mess with them with my wet hand. Pull them out and put them into that, mess with it with my dry hand. When you don't cross the wet and the dry, it makes your life easier because you're not going to have a gummed up fingers full of the breading egg mixture. We're going to first coat the fish in the almond flour mixture. Drop it into the egg. Make sure it's good and coated. Let the excess drip off. Oh, I did forget to mention, I have 2 eggs beaten here. And then popped it into a dry breadcrumb mixture. Toss it, coat it. I like to pat it on to make sure it doesn't come off. Alright, I'm just going to stick it on the cookie sheet. I'm just going to continue that with all these. First in the almond flour. Then in the egg. Drip the excess. Drop it into the crushed pork rinds. Pat it on to make sure it sticks. And onto the cookie sheet. Alright, y'all don't need to watch me do over 1 pound of these, so I'll finish these up and I'll be right back with you. Alright, lovely. So we finished breading up all of these fish sticks, and that's a lot more than I thought it would be. I think last time I made these, I actually had just shy of 1 pound of cod, and this time 1.25 pounds was a lot more than I expected. I did have to add an extra egg to my egg mixture and a little bit more of the pork rind breadcrumb mixture. I will adjust my amounts down in the description below so you know what I had. But if you are making less fish than this, you probably won't need to add any more than what I mentioned earlier. Alright guys, so from here, You can cook these several different ways. I prefer to fry them up in some avocado oil. My husband prefers me to bake them in the oven, and I know people do put them in the air fryer. I have not tried that yet. If you have put these in the air fryer, let me know what you do differently and how they turn out for you. So I find that when I bake these in the oven just like this, they tend to be just slightly dry. So I like to spray them with a little bit of olive oil cooking spray before I put them in the oven. Now that is the lazy way of doing it. You can also brush some on from, you know, a little bowl with the brush, but that just seemed a little bit tedious for me, so I just quickly sprayed it on. I got the oven preheated to 350 and I'm gonna bake these for about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna fry these up. Alright, so to fry these up, I got some avocado oil heating up here on medium to medium-high heat. I got enough oil in the pan so it'll come up halfway on the fish sticks. I got a second plate of paper towels and a splatter shield. If you don't have one of these, it is a lifesaver in the kitchen. I use it every time I cook bacon on the stove, just about anything that splatters. The chicken tenders I made, oh, it was my lifesaver on those. So I had a huge bowl of chicken tenders. I would never got in the kitchen clean afterwards. That being said, all right, so I got the oil already heated up, so we're gonna carefully drop these in. You don't want to overcrowd them in the pan because they won't crisp up as much if you do. So I'll probably put about 4 at a time in here. Cook them for 3 minutes on each side, flip them 3 minutes, and then they should be done. All right guys, I'll see y'all back in a few minutes. All right, it's been 3 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip these over. I might need to adjust that to be 4 minutes though, but we'll see how these come out in a few minutes. I'll let you know. Alright guys, so these fish sticks were in the oven for 10 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them, spray them again, and then let them continue cooking. Sorry, I can hear that bubbling beside me. Alright, so these are going to go back into the oven for another 10 minutes. And meanwhile, these have finished cooking here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove them onto my paper towel lined plates. And start the next batch. I'm going to finish these up. I'll see y'all back in a few minutes. Alright guys and gals, so these fish sticks have finished cooking. As you see, I get 2 different plates. I got the plate that cooked in the oven, and I get the plate that I cooked up in some avocado oil. And they both turned out absolutely wonderful. They are terrific. I just prefer them cooked in oil because it gives them a bit more crunch. That being said, you might like them either way. Try them both ways. See what you think. Let me know in the comments down below which way you like it better. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up down below and share this recipe with anybody that you know can use a great low-carb fish stick recipe. Until next time, guys. Bye.